Good day, happy travelers. Vacation travel hacks here, talking about the 7-day Western Mediterranean cruise on the MSC World Europa. The purpose of this video is to talk through how to get from the airport to the cruise terminal. Are there free options to do at each shore excursion? And what are some of the paid options to do at each port of call, with some fantastic ports of call? So if you're here, you're either booked on this and kind of doing some research, or you haven't booked this and you're just scouting it out to see what's available. And we're going to talk about it all. Great port to call. Loading in Barcelona, you got Marseille, Genoa, Valletta, Palermo, and Rome, Civitavecchia. So we got some stuff to talk about. Let's hop into it. This is an overview of Barcelona. Here is the airport, and here is the cruise terminal. You're not too far away. And if you're flying internationally from, say, the United States, and perhaps anywhere, but certainly this would apply to the United States. For me, there's nothing easier than flying overnight, landing in the morning, and if I catch like 11 p.m. flight out of JFK, I'm going to land, I don't know, somewhere between 11 and noon. And by the time I get through customs, it's, I make it with ample time to spare. It gives me about 5 hours to get from the airport to the cruise terminal, and it works out well. You could, and it's always a good idea, and we certainly do this when we're leaving out of Rome, that we would board we fly into Rome a couple days before and explore around, and get on that way. So you got a couple different options there. And if you do that, hotel transfers, many of the hotels call and talk to concierge, or you can even book a private transfer. They're about 15 euros. It's not too terribly expensive to get from one of the hotels up in Barcelona proper to the cruise ports. I think they expect it. So either way, there's no wrong way to do it. The reason I like flying in the day of is I can use the transportation provided by the cruise service and get up there, and it pretty much gives me the day I get on the ship, and I can pretty much go to, grab something to eat, adjust myself to the ship, muster, do the whole 9 yards, and then I'm kind of ready to go to bed. And the cruise ship's underway, and when I wake up, we are off. And one of if you zoom in here, it's worth noting that the couple times that I've been here, the cruise terminals, the signs are great, and the drivers, if you say, hey, I'm on MSC Europa, for example, they're going to know where to go. There's lots of signs. Just pay attention to your communications. Of the 3 times that I've been here, one time it left right out of the terminal that it said it was going to be, and then the other time I must have missed a communication, but the signage helped. And more importantly, you're going to see your boat. So if you're on MSC Europa, for example, and you see a Royal Caribbean ship, you're probably not in the right area. These ships aren't small; they're pretty big. All right, so you're on the ship, you're on your way. So whether you fly in, get on the day of, or fly in, tour Barcelona, see some of the wonderful architecture that's there, you are off and on your way. One of your stops is Marseille, and so is there free stuff to do. So when you get into the cruise terminal, you're not. This is kind of industrial. You got cargo here. You do have some stuff, but everything you'd probably want to see is, I wouldn't say within walking distance, probably taxi distance, but certainly not walking distance. So I would probably, and I have, relied on the cruise line for excursions. And I want to note, while I'm pulling up the excursions here for this location, that I always recommend the cruise line excursion versus a third-party excursion. There's money to be saved on third parties, but the cruise line excursions, I just feel good knowing that there won't be anything lost in translation, and that the ship will wait for me if I book through them. So if you want to go see the city, and who doesn't, you get, there's a city tour. You can go and, look at these options. This is just, not one of the, well, okay, I'm not big fields of lavender guy. I think it'd make for a good selfie, but if you're a big lavender person, this is certainly something that would be for you. But look at this. There's a bike discovery tour, then there's a car discovery tour. So it looks like here, whether walk, bike, car, you're going to see the city and take it all in, and that's really what it's all about. And then you're off to your next stop, Genoa. The MSC cruise pier. Can you walk to something here? Man, it sure looks like there's a lot of highways here, right? And so there's some. I don't want to say it's like, you know, touristy stuff, but there's always touristy stuff close to the port. But if you want to get out into the the countryside and kind of explore what's going on, again, I would recommend an excursion. It's just the hills. It's just everything you would expect on a postcard, except you're doing it. So you can discover it by Segway. You can go to an aquarium and look at fishes. You can make pesto. All the palaces. Any one of these things would be absolutely fantastic. You can go to Milan. But is there one thing here that I wouldn't do? No, there's about 5 things here, and I would just have to figure out which one of the 5 that I would want to do when I'm here next summer. So it's really quite the pickle. Then we got Valletta. Now the cruise ports here. You got Hard Rock Cafe. Yeah, you do have a little bit more touristy things. You wouldn't necessarily have to. You got. You're within walking distance of a lot here. You wouldn't necessarily have to book a walking tour. I might just to get some insight. Actually, I probably would just to get some insight on what it is. But you got fountains, you got gardens. There's a lot to do. But what am I comparing it against? It's a postcard. It's the heritage, the history. Harbor cruise and wine. Hey, go taking some sights, drinking some vino. I'm sure it's probably not out of a box, but it might be. You got beach time, Malta treasures. Hey, check this out. Go rent a van. Go drive around for the day for 3 to 6. Head out to the Blue Lagoon. There's a panoramic island tour. That's probably what we might do that. Although a pedal power, I don't know if I want to pedal my way around I don't know. So anyway, I'm looking probably. I don't really drink wine, but that does look pretty good. I'm probably going to do the panoramic island tour. Honestly, if I'm going to pitch it to my committee. And if you don't have a committee, you just get to choose. Well, you were certainly better than me. The Port of Palermo, you got the cruise terminal here. A bunch of stuff to see. Could you walk? Yeah. And again, it's kind of you can walk and save money. You got some archaeological museums down here. And just, make yourself a map, kind of figure out what it is you want to see. But there's a lot of stuff to see within walking distance. And there's also a lot of stuff to see via excursion. And so we will take a look at that here. Look at sightseeing and free time. The sites are fantastic. And maybe this will be the time that we go to the beach. We are big beach people. Normally we go to the Mediterranean. And then you can ride a bike, walking. So if you don't want to, walk by yourself aimlessly, you want a walking tour, well, they have them. So that's the beautiful thing about it. And then Rome. So obviously, this is we call it the Port of Rome, and so you'll park, and there's stuff to see here. But for me, I want to get to Rome, and Rome. Oh man, I don't know, 45 minutes maybe. It depends on the traffic, but it's not like super close, but it's not super far away either. And you're in port for, oh man, normally it's over 12 hours. Normally they're from like 7 to 7, 7 to 9, and you are I've been here. And I could spend a month here. And one of my stays was 3 days here. So obviously anything less than a week is going to be tough. But I would love to see the Colosseum again. I would love to see the Vatican again. Maybe I might spend a little bit more time at the Trevi Fountain. And there's stuff to do here. And whatever you choose, you won't be disappointed. But for me to see the Colosseum again would be absolutely just fantastic. As you can see, most of these excursions are 9 hours. 8 hours. And, like I said, you could probably spend a month here, and it just frankly wouldn't be enough time. So it's going to be fantastic. Actually, that's why I picked this itinerary. It's absolutely fantastic. And then, as it's going to be one of the quickest weeks in your life. It always is. Mediterranean cruises go super fast. All cruises, all vacations go super fast. So try to make the most of it. And then you're bored. You have a couple different options. Again, if you're worried a little bit about missing your flight or whatever, you can spend a day or two. Barcelona. What we typically do is we fly from Barcelona to Paris, go to Paris Disney for a few days, take that in, see the Eiffel Tower and whatnot, and then we transfer back over to this side of the pond from CDG, Charles de Gaulle. So, but otherwise, you could get off the boat, check your disembarkment time. Sometimes it varies. This itinerary sometimes it varies. But if you get into port, before 10 a.m., you should be able to catch an international flight. Just give it 4 hours. I mean, you do have to clear customs and move bags around. And there's of course transportation provided by the cruise line. So yeah, just check your itinerary, give 4 hours. But I couldn't encourage you enough. You're already there. If you want to go to London or Paris, Barcelona, they have like GoJet, and a lot of it's pretty cheap to fly inner Europe as opposed to flying from here to there. So if you can add on a few days somewhere, wouldn't be lost for it. If you're short on luggage and laundry, well, okay, I guess it's time to come home. So hey, this is this is like the MSC's flagship. Ample entertainment, like everything's polished and clean, the food's delicious, and you're going to have a fantastic time. And I hope you do. I'll see you on the next video.